Hello, everyone. Welcome to today's live session on overcoming judgments. Victory Vamsi here, your life coach. As a life coach, I have seen firsthand how our judgments and biases can impact our relationships, our self-esteem, and overall well-being. Whether we are judging others based on their appearance or behaviors, or judging ourselves based on our perceived flaws or mistakes, these judgments can often be based on incomplete information or deep-seated prejudices. In today's session, we'll explore some common types of judgments we make in our daily lives and discuss practical strategies for overcoming them. We'll also look at the importance of empathy, open-mindedness, and self-reflection in building stronger and more meaningful connections with others. So, whether you are here to gain insights into your own judgments or to learn how to better understand and connect with others, I hope you will find this session valuable and informative. Let's get started. So let's see quick judgments. We may make quick judgments about people or situations based on limited information or assumptions. We assume things. To overcome these judgments, we can practice mindfulness, taking the time to observe and reflect before reacting, and being open to new information and perspectives. For example, if we see someone on the street who appears to be homeless, we may make assumptions about their situation without fully understanding their circumstances or needs. Instead, we can practice empathy and compassion and seek to understand their situation before making any judgments. The next type of judgment is comparison judgments. We may judge ourselves or others based on comparison to others, such as their accomplishments, possessions, or lifestyle. To overcome these judgments, we can focus on our own values and goals and strive to find fulfillment and satisfaction in our own life rather than constantly comparing ourselves to others, right? So let me give you an example. We may judge ourselves based on our social media feeds, comparing our lives to those of our friends or relatives, right? Instead, we can focus on our own accomplishments and experiences and seek to find joy and meaning in our own unique path. In life, everybody has their own path, right? Everybody have their own struggles, but we don't tend to think about that, but instead we will get into that quick comparison judgment, right? So let's get into the third type of judgment, which is criticism judgment. We may judge others harshly based on their actions or choices, or offer unsolicited criticism or advice. To overcome these judgments, we can practice active listening, right? Seeking to understand others' perspectives and needs, and offering support and encouragement rather than judgment or criticism. For example, if we disagree with someone's political or social views, we may be quick to judge or criticize them without fully understanding their perspective. Instead, we can seek to understand their position and engage in a respectful dialogue and discussion, right? So usually this happens between friends or somebody whom we meet and discuss, right? If there are any political or about a movie or regarding a social event that happened, right? This happens. So Just understand their position and engage in a respectful dialogue and discussion. Next thing is performance-based judgments. We may judge ourselves or others based on their performance or productivity, such as their grades, work output, or athletic ability. To overcome these judgments, we can focus on an exam. We may judge ourselves harshly and uh, feel discouraged, right? This is an example. Instead, we can focus on the effort we put into studying and seek to learn from our mistakes rather than judging ourselves based on the outcome, right? And then appearance-based judgments. We often make snap judgments about others based on their appearance, such as their clothing, hairstyle, or body shape. To overcome these judgments, we can focus on getting to know someone's personality, interest, and values rather than just their physical appearance. So, judging someone based on their clothing or hairstyle can lead to assumptions about their personality or character. For example, assuming that someone who dresses in a certain way is unprofessional or lazy. Overcoming these judgments could involve getting to know the person beyond their appearance, right? So outer appearance will speak very little, but their inner appearance may be different, right? And recognizing that clothing and style are not always indicative of a person's ability or values, right? So the next one is stereotyping. We may stereotype people based on their race, gender, or nationality, assuming that they all share certain characteristics or behaviors. To overcome these judgments, we can educate ourselves about different cultures and perspectives and strive to see individuals as unique and multifaceted. Stereotyping can involve making assumptions about an entire group of people based on limited information. For example, assuming that all women are emotional or all men are aggressive, right? Overcoming this judgment could involve learning about diverse perspectives and cultures and recognizing that individuals within a group may have a different experiences and identities, right? And negative self-talk. We may judge ourselves harshly based on our perceived flaws or mistakes. To overcome these judgments, we can practice self-compassion, focusing on our strengths and accomplishments and treating ourselves with kindness and empathy. Negative self-talk can involve judging oneself harshly based on perceived flaws or mistakes. For example, criticizing oneself for not being smart enough or attractive enough. Overcoming this judgment could involve practicing self-compassion and self-care, right? And the next type of judgment is prejudice. We may have deep-seated prejudice or bias that affect our perception and interaction with others. To overcome these judgments, we can challenge our own assumptions and beliefs, seek out diverse perspective and experience, and actively work to overcome our own prejudices. Prejudice can involve deeply held beliefs or biases that affect our perception of others. For example, assuming that people from a certain background are inherently inferior or threatening. Overcoming this judgment can involve actively challenge one's own assumptions and beliefs, seeking out diverse perspective and experiences, and recognizing the humanity and worth of all individuals, right? And then judging others' actions. We may judge others based on their actions or behaviors. Without fully understanding their circumstances or motivations, we tend to judge others, right? In order to overcome these judgments, we can practice empathy and compassion, striving to understand others' perspective and experience, and recognizing that everyone's everyone makes mistakes and face challenges in life. So when we understand this one thing, we will not judge others' actions. Judging others based on their actions can involve making assumptions, right? These are all assumptions. For example, assuming that someone who is late to a meeting is irresponsible or disrespectful. Overcoming this judgment could involve practicing empathy and understanding, right? There may be a reason behind why they are late to the meeting, and recognizing that everyone has their own unique circumstances and challenges, and focusing on open and honest communication understands others' perspective. It will create a better understanding, right? So, in conclusion, judgment is when we form an opinion or decision about something or someone based on what we see, hear, or experience. That may not be true, right? So judgment without knowing the full context will go wrong sometimes, right? Sometimes our judgments can be influenced by our background or experiences, and we may not always be aware of our biases or assumptions. It's important to try to be open-minded and empathetic, and to consider different perspectives when making judgments, right? We can improve our judgments by being reflective and self-aware, and by seeking feedback and advice from others. And the next one is making fair and thoughtful judgments can help us to be more compassionate and understanding towards others, and to build stronger relationships and connections. I encourage you all to reflect on your own experiences with judgment and share in the comments below where you may have caught yourself making snap judgments or falling into stereotypes. Let's create a safe space for open and honest dialogue, and use this platform to support each other in our journeys towards greater self-awareness and personal worth. Thank you all for joining me today in this discussion on overcoming judgments. Remember, the first step towards building stronger connection with others is to acknowledge our own biases and assumptions. Work towards being more open-minded and empathetic. I hope you find these strategies and insights helpful, and that you will take what you have learned today and apply it in your daily life. If you enjoyed this session, please consider subscribing to our channel for more content on personal growth, mindfulness, and emotional wellness. Also, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up if you found it valuable, and share it with your friends and family who may benefit from this message. And finally, I would love to hear your thoughts and feedback in the comments below. Thank you again for joining me, and I look forward to seeing you all in our next live session tomorrow at 9 p.m. Thank you. Thank you so much for joining.